The biggest story on day 2 of the NFL Draft involves a trade. The mercurial Randy Moss bounced from the black hole, cross-country from the Bay Area to New England. Moss on the move. Welcome inside our NFL Network studios for NFL Total Access, presented by Sprint. I'm Fran Charles, alongside Jamie Dukes, Jesse Palmer, and Bobby Beathard. We'll have a complete wrap-up of day 2 at the NFL Draft. But first, it's been rumored for weeks. Sunday, our Adam Schefter broke the story. The Patriots and Raiders making it official. Oakland sending disgruntled yet talented wide receiver Randy Moss to New England for a 4th-round draft pick. Moss traveled to New England Sunday, passed his physical, which was the final piece of the deal. He's agreed to restructure the final 2 years on a contract that owed him some $20 million. New England was the only team Moss agreed to restructure his deal for, and Moss has put up ridiculous career numbers, but over the last 2 seasons, his stats have been pedestrian. Good look at the back page of the Boston Herald. Moss hysteria. Reaction mixed in New England, but for the most part, fans seem to be on board.
He's going to want to try to go out and prove that he can be a team player and prove that he deserves to get re-upped on a good contract.
I think all in all, it's a low-risk situation that could pay out high dividends for us in the end.
I just think talent-wise, he's a great talent athletically. I just think football-wise, his talent is average.
They're going to demand that he, acts right and does the right thing on the field.
You know he's going to be playing on a Super Bowl contending team.
For basically nothing. It's like adding an extra starting pitcher to the Red Sox. Like adding Roger Clemens to the Red Sox. There's zero risk, high reward.
Never in a million years envision the Patriots making this move.
The guy is coming to a proven franchise that seems to have taken on a shift in their ideology with how they bring in players. When is the last time that he got a sniff of the Super Bowl? Randy Moss has got to look at this in the long term, just like the Patriots do, and say to himself, look, I have the potential here to win, if not one, maybe a couple Super Bowl titles.
And I think it's a great opportunity for Randy Moss to redeem himself. And I really don't see any negativity.
It's unbelievable, guys, what they did. I mean, they trade, which is supposed to be a really weak draft. They trade out of the 28th pick. They get Randy Moss and probably a top 15 pick next year.
Thanks. Glad to be here, guys.
You bet. Coach, the first question is basically a question that many fans in the National Football League have. You draft a guy like JaMarcus Russell with all the physical attributes you'd want in a young quarterback, and then you have a wide receiver who's one of the best jump ball wide receivers and one of the best deep threat wide receivers in the National Football League in Randy Moss, and you trade him away. Why would you trade Randy Moss away when you've just drafted a quarterback like JaMarcus Russell?
Well, there are a lot of things that went into that decision. It's something that some options had come up lately of different things of where to send him, and it was just something that was good for both sides at this time. We wish Randy the best, and we know he's real excited, too, to have a fresh start somewhere else as well.
Randy Moss to New England for the Patriots' 4th-round selection, a pick that Oakland used on John Bowie, a cornerback from Cincinnati.
I think their record and what they're about speaks massive volumes, and I'm just very, very happy to find some happiness and getting back to what I love to do, and that's play football and go out there and compete. And through the course of my career or just the course of my life of playing sports, I've always tried to be a winner and going out there to compete. And by me having the chance to play with a organization with the coaching staff, with Mr. Kraft as the owner and the players they have in position, that I didn't really think that money was a big factor to me. And last night, me and Coach Belichick really talked for the first time about what's been going on, and he asked me about how excited I am, if the opportunity would present itself for me to become a Patriot, and really I was overwhelmed because I didn't really expect to hear from Coach Belichick.
I think that Randy is, I think he's a very competitive player, and I think that he's very experienced, knows what it takes to win, is a winner, and I'm glad he's on this team.
I was very, very overwhelmed, but I'm still in shock at the same time, and I can't believe I'm a Patriot. And now having the opportunity, not just to play with Tom, but just being on a team that runs a professional ship as far as on and off the field. I know there's some things that I've done in the past and young in my career, but I think that's all behind me. I'm really not living on the past. I'm really trying to live at the present and the future. So, hopefully this thing works out. I know I want it to work out, and hopefully the organization feels the same.
In one of the more entertaining portions of the conference call, someone asked him if it was true that Belichick had seen him run a 4.29 40. Moss just said, "Let's just say the Moss of old is back," and leave it at that. When someone tried to ask another question, he was gone.
He has already agreed to restructure his 2007 contract that was to pay him $9.75 million. New England was the one and only place Moss would agree to take a reduced contract.
What can you tell us now about his new contract?
Fran, it was done before the trade was even completed. Essentially, Randy Moss has a new one-year contract in New England that is worth, with incentives, in the neighborhood of $5 million. He lowered his base salary dramatically, about $6 million, and he has some incentives in there. But the key factor here is that he did give the Patriots some salary cap relief, and he is on a one-year deal, which means he could be a free agent after this year. Basically, he's auditioning for the Patriots and the rest of the league, and you'd like to think that if he plays well, that he'll want to come back to New England, and New England will want to have him back.
Moss has 101 touchdowns, 5th all time. Jesse Palmer, how is Randy Moss going to fit into the Patriots team system?
Well, Randy Moss is a playmaker and he's a game changer. And the New England Patriots in free agency this year made uncharacteristically a lot of acquisitions, especially at the wide receiver position. It starts with Dante Stallworth. You see Kelly Washington, Wes Welker. These guys are going to want to start throwing the football, and we add Randy Moss. And I wonder if it's not because they looked at the schedule for the 2007 season, and there's teams there: San Diego, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Baltimore. For New England to win these games, they're going to have to score points. To score points, you have to throw the football. This was something critical that they had to get addressed, and you wonder if the New England Patriots kind of felt, hey, listen, if we're going to win the AFC Championship this year, it's because we're going to have to earn it.
Yeah, but bringing in all those players does not guarantee that you're going to be successful. This is a great team. There's no question about it. They'll win 12, 14 games. The ultimate goal, win it all. If they don't win the Super Bowl, it is a bad season for the New England Patriots. That is what they're all about. We saw what happened to the Washington Redskins, where they bought Deion Sanders, Bruce Smith, a bunch of other guys in, and the question is, will the chemistry work? Not just with Moss, with all those guys you just mentioned. This game is about chemistry. One guy depending on another guy. And I think that from that standpoint, it's yet to be seen how successful New England will be adding all of those pieces.
Well, I think Belichick makes the chemistry. This is a marvelous move for him and a great move for Randy Moss. He's going to have fun. I think he's going to get right back to the Pro Bowl level. It's not the Randy Moss of old. This is the Randy Moss of new. And I think everybody's going to have to worry about this around the league that has to play the Patriots.
All right, on the flip side, the Oakland Raiders go out. They use the #1 pick overall. They get the big quarterback, JaMarcus Russell. And then they trade the guy who potentially could go up and get all those high-flying loose balls in Randy Moss. So how is this going to affect the Oakland Raiders?
I think it's equally as good for the Raiders as the other one was for the Patriots because of this. Lane Kiffin, the new young coach, to have a chance, he can't have this distraction. He's got to have a team that is free of distractions. He's training the new quarterback, JaMarcus Russell. I think it's a great move for the Patriots. They'll find other guys while they're building, but this at least gives them time to get something going without distraction.
Yeah, and I think there's still a lot of excitement right now for the Oakland Raiders on offense. You look at receivers like Jerry Porter. They now have Mike Williams. You look at Ronald Curry even. There's a lot of guys that make this work. They have a great tandem playing running back. They have a good defense. If they can get the offensive line shored up, then this team starts winning the sooner JaMarcus Russell is ready to play.
I think the biggest impact is a statement was made by the head coach. In every situation, when you're a CEO or executive, you take over, some heads got to roll. You saw what happened in Pittsburgh. Joey Porter sent packing. You saw the commissioner. He had to make a statement so that this is not Paul Tagliabue's legacy. This is my legacy. Pac-Man Jones, you're going to watch the games with me this year. And so the same thing, I think, happened. Lane Kiffin gets rid of Brooks. He also gets rid of Randy Moss, makes a statement to the team that I am running this show, and be clear on who is in charge.
All right, and to echo your point, Jesse, yeah, they were 2-14, but defense was pretty good. So if they get some things worked out on offense, they could be a force to deal with in the AFC West. All right.
I know y'all been waiting. I've been waiting too. I've been missing everybody. So y'all stay tuned, baby. It's the Bike Show coming up. I told you before the game what they're going to give you. You got to win. I told y'all at the beginning of the game. Trying to get you the ball. All right, bro, relax. Relax. Just tell him we go back, give it to Wiggins, not me. You don't never take take your playmakers off the damn feet.
I'm frustrated because it should be a blowout. That's what I'm frustrated about.
The Cam said it best, baby. It's our house, man. It's good to be back. I missed this game, baby. I love it.
Since he's arrived in the league, the skills have never been in question, but his desire has been tenuous at best. Randy Moss has said it himself. Randy plays when Randy wants to play. Well, now Randy's been given a chance to play for a team that's won 3 of the last 6 Super Bowls. Will he help the Pats win a 4th, or will Randy wear out his welcome in a 3rd NFL setting? And Bobby, I want to start with you. Will Randy Moss be a Pro Bowler this year?
Pro Bowl will be nothing new for Randy Moss. He'll be back.
Okay. Jesse?
I don't think Randy Moss will be a Pro Bowler. There's too many balls to spread around between Ben Watson, Dante Stallworth, Kelly Washington, Jabbar Gaffney, Riche Caldwell, whoever, but no Pro Bowl.
Those guys aren't getting the ball. That's what you know. I mean, some of those guys might. Randy Moss, I don't think will make it because of Marvin Harrison and some of the other guys in the league. Too much was required of Randy Moss. That's why he failed in Oakland. But let me tell you one thing that Randy gets. He gets that guy right there. His name is Tom Brady. What Tom Brady brings to the table is this: focus. You can rest assured, despite all the distractions, Tom Brady is going to bring focus to the table. He's going to also bring a plan. And that's exactly what Randy Moss needs, is somebody who's got a plan that he won't have to carry the weight because he's not capable of doing it. And then last but not least, leadership. Randy Moss can lead sometimes, but he's not a consistent leader. Tom Brady is a consistent leader. Tom Brady will be successful. Randy Moss will be successful with the New England Patriots. All right, let's look at some of the emails. We want to thank you for logging on to the website. Here's an email right here. How do you think Randy Moss will fit into the Patriots locker room? I think he will be fine because I think that people don't understand. Belichick didn't come in and say, look, Randy, this is your last chance. You're out of here. He didn't say that. He knows, Randy Moss knows that, hey, I got to get this thing done. I got to do it right this time. Let's take another look at another email. Does Randy Moss trade make the Patriots the favorite to win the AFC? I think certainly it does, but it doesn't guarantee that they're going to win it. We saw what happened with the Washington Redskins when they brought Deion Sanders in, Bruce Smith. We saw what happened with the Los Angeles Lakers. Talk a little basketball when they brought Karl Malone, Gary Payton. Superstars don't always translate into victories. A lot of things have to happen. One last email. Why would the Raiders draft JaMarcus Russell and then trade away his best weapon? It doesn't make sense. Oh, how contraire, my friend. It does make sense, because guess what? Randy didn't want to be there. And if Randy don't want to be there, you don't want Randy on your team. Because guess what? Randy has the big C word. He can be a locker room cancer if he is not happy. So that makes more sense than anything else. Randy Moss, get out. Lane Kiffin, he's got a new team. He's going to bring some other players in, and it's all peace in Raidierville.
All right, Jesse, give me your best Boston action.
I'll tell you what, that Randy Moss's wicked smile.
Here's where Moss's impact maybe felt the most. Pat wide receivers, they averaged just 11.5 yards per catch, the second lowest average for teams wideouts ahead of the Texans. But Moss averages about 16 yards per catch, and don't forget about Dante Stallworth, 15 yards per. Jesse, how are they going to use him?
Well, Randy Moss is a game changer and he's a playmaker, but I think we have to remember the New England Patriots are not going to throw away their playbook now because they have Randy Moss and just start inventing things. Randy Moss is going to be expected to fit into what the New England Patriots are doing. Now, the pressure is on the Patriots to find ways to creatively use Randy Moss, whether that's shifts, motions, get him lined up and mismatched with the other team's third cornerback, linebacker, safety. Really try to take advantage of Randy Moss's speed and athleticism to help this offense stretch the field.
Yeah, I think Belichick told us yesterday what the model is, as in Randy Moss attacks all 3 levels. And for those who don't know what that means, there's the first level, intermediate level, and then there's deep. And because of his great speed, he forces defenses to make a decision right now of exactly what they're going to do. My question is structure. Can Randy Moss fit into a very structure-oriented offense? That's the one question I have. We know about his great talents. And by the way, that guy who's talking about he's an average receiver. How many average receivers, 101 touchdowns? I don't know many.
But it was wicked smart.
Go ahead, Bobby. Smart. Well, remember, they lost Deion Branch. I don't think that they've ever replaced Deion Branch. Now, Randy Moss isn't Deion Branch, nor vice versa, but this gives them another weapon. They can use him in every way. He was just out there at the X position like that. They're going to use him in the slot. They're going to use him in motion. They're going to do so many things. I think it's going to be really exciting for the Patriots.
Randy Moss's football career has been littered with enough highlights and lowlights to last a couple of lifetimes. As Moss exited high school in 1995, former Notre Dame head football coach Lou Holtz called Moss the best high school athlete he'd ever seen. Blessed with incredible athletic talent, it's amazing to think Moss almost didn't play college football at all. After being released from full scholarships at Notre Dame and Florida State due to legal troubles, Moss finally realized some of his potential in his last chance at Marshall University. In 1997, Moss dominated college football offensively, winning the Fred Biletnikoff Award as the nation's leading wide receiver. Despite all his accolades, NFL teams were still reluctant to take a chance on him in the 1998 NFL Draft. But with the 21st pick, Minnesota was waiting with open arms. Moss paid immediate dividends for the Vikings, setting the rookie record for touchdown catches in a season with 17, quickly becoming one of the elite wide receivers in the National Football League.
Lobs right side end zone, caught! Touchdown, Randy Moss!
Moss spent 7 seasons in Minnesota. Every year, his stature grew.
Looks to Moss in single coverage. He caught it. He's the best in the game. Touchdown, Vikings!
He had the best season of his career in 2003, becoming the only wideout ever to average over 100 yards receiving and 1 touchdown per game.
I told you and I told you. Touchdown.
Moss finished the year playing in 16 contests, catching 111 passes for 1,632 yards and 17 touchdowns, all personal bests. Moss has been named to the Pro Bowl 5 times, but controversy has followed. Seeking a fresh start, the Vikings traded the enigmatic receiver to the Oakland Raiders in 2005, and allegiance with the Raider Nation seemed like the perfect fit. But 2 years and 26 losses later, Moss made it perfectly clear he was unhappy and wanted out.
You don't never take your playmakers off the damn feet.
He got his wish Sunday, joining Tom Brady and the extremely talented yet rigid Patriots. Moss brings 10,700 receiving yards and 101 career touchdowns to New England. And who knows, maybe all Moss ever needed was a little more patriotism.